It's always good news here at the BC Forest Discovery Centre. There is so much going on. Here's Chris Gale, the manager, to tell us more.
Well, most people don't know, but this is 100 acres of discovery, education, and fun.
It sure is fun. Underline the train.
Oh, well, the train is so important. We run the steam train every weekend, but also the museum is so important. The education aspect is what we really are proud of.
Train rides are always popular here. There is a steam train, a diesel train, and a gas locomotive, all in working order. Train rides snake through nearly 100 acres of beautiful forested areas where people can observe an authentic one-room schoolhouse, intriguing forestry equipment from years gone by, themed camp life bunkhouses, or just enjoy the scenery, including Somenos Lake from the trestle. Burning snags and raining ashes, the Blowdell Fire of 1938 and its aftermath is now on exhibit at the BC Forest Discovery Centre. It all began one hot July afternoon when a spark from a passing locomotive fatefully flew into a dry pile of logs. By that evening, the blaze had already grown to 5 acres in size.
The exhibit starts with an interpretive trail that comes down through the forest, and we go past the lookout tower, and then we come out here to the ranger station, and we go through the main exhibit of the ranger station to the ranger station garage, where we see different panels as well as interpretive panels along the trail. Yeah.
So the impact of this huge fire was quite astonishing, especially in the day and age when it happened. Can you give us some of the highlights of how it progressed and who were affected?
Absolutely. So the fire only took place over 30 days and it destroyed 30,000 hectares of land. So to put that in perspective, we do have some maps inside the exhibit, and you can see it's a huge swath of land from some areas going all the way high to the mountains and down to the water. We have people who are conscripted to work in the firefighting efforts. Every able-bodied man was, in use. We also have women and children who are refugees from their homes who were forced to live in tents. And if you can imagine, those 30 days were probably some of the most traumatic of their lives because they didn't know where their homes were going to be, and nobody knew where the fire would stop because it was such a hot, dry season and the fire just kept going.
And the logging practices were far different than they are today.
Absolutely. Yes, they were very different. A lot of the times they would cut just huge swaths of land, complete of trees, and then they would leave a lot of the dead trees on the ground as debris and detritus. And that's what caused the fire to accelerate so quickly because it had all this fuel. It had the ability to just run over large amounts of land, and they couldn't get fire breaks up. They didn't even use fire breaks back in the day. The firefighting practices were quite different too.
Now, some of the pioneers actually remember the fire well. Can you describe for me again one of the gentlemen here that volunteers that told you how it affected his family?
Yes, he was actually about 2 or 3 years old, and he lived in a creek nearby where the fire was happening. And he was only vaguely aware, of course, being so young, but his dad threw everything down the well to keep it safe and dry, and the family was ready to go at a moment's notice. And that just gives you some idea of the real emotional side of this. I mean, we don't really hear a lot about the story necessarily because World War II came so closely afterwards and there was a lot going on a global scale, but the story here to Vancouver Island is very important.
And what do you think this story tells all of us that live here now?
I think it's very important to remember that we have to think of the future. So this exhibit last year marked at Campbell River, and as well as being here, it's 75 years since provincially we've had a reforestation program. So it's very important for us to think about the future for our kids, our grandkids, where are the trees going to come from, how are we going to be sustainable in the future.
Retro signage points to the importance of taking care in our forests with the main goal of education. The BC Forest Discovery Centre offers a fascinating interactive session inside a helicopter. Anyone at any age will certainly be challenged by the quiz inside. It's a chance to learn about science, forestry, and the incredible power of fire in our forested areas. Families can enjoy events throughout the year at the centre. BC Day is Kids Day weekend, Sunday, August 3rd and Monday, August 4th, from 10 until 4:30. You You can enjoy unlimited train rides on the steam engine, games, musical entertainment, and more. Check the website for all details, and you will find the train schedule under the Visit tab, bcforestdiscoverycentre.com.
We had about 12 to 1,400 students come through last year. This year we're working on the Adopt a Tree program for the schools to come to the orchard, and as many programs as we can think of. We're trying to get the kids here.
On the other end of the spectrum are forestry pioneers. Many share their stories and volunteer around the forestry equipment and at events at the BC Forest Discovery Centre.
Foresters just love to talk. We had about 7,000 to 8,000 hours of volunteers last year. It's just amazing. Oh, if anybody wants to come and help, we guarantee it's fun, we'll keep you fed, and you'll have a good time.